Technology is always good to take it, all right?
Yes.
So, who's in charge of this computer? Where are the students from right? They didn't tell me they had a password. You know what it is? Alright, that'll work. I can improvise. That's life, isn't it? Nothing ever goes as planned. Alright? So, while she's doing that, let me get you guys to stand up for me. I know. Man. Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. But I'm gonna get you to raise your right hand. Get you to raise your left hand. Now, this is very simple, okay? I want you to bring your hands together very quickly. I want you to do it 4 times. All right? Go. All right, thank y'all. Y'all can have a seat. I want to go ahead and get my applause out the way. I know I'm going to do a good job. All right, thank you. But today, I want to talk to you guys about achieving overall wellness. And I hope you hear me back so I can go ahead and get started. But
Do you have a flash drive?
I do.
You want to use my computer?
Yes, that'll work. But you guys are in a very vital state right now. You're teenagers. And some of you are almost in adulthood. And that's a very difficult phase because you're going from being dependent to wanting to be independent. And you're going from having mom and dad or whoever tell you what to do to making decisions on your own. Some of you are getting ready to enter into the workforce. Some of you are ready to go to your secondary education. Okay. All right. Let's give him a round of applause. All right, here we go. So adolescents achieving wellness. If somebody had to describe wellness, how would you describe it? Anybody? I ain't gonna call on you.
Mental.
Okay, mental. That's a component.
Healthy, physically healthy.
Okay. All right, wellness is a state of well-being or balanced health over a long period of time. It involves your physical, your mental, your social, emotional, environmental, and your spiritual. And today we're going to talk about each of those aspects. So, as far as your physical, the power of exercise. Some people exercise to feel good. Some people exercise to look good. But research suggests that exercise can have a significant impact on depression, anxiety, eating disorders, addictions, cognitive functioning. Not only does exercise used to treat issues, but it also works for preventative measures. So, anytime you're feeling down, go for a walk. Do some type of physical activity. What that does, it produces endorphins. Endorphins is a feel-good chemical. It just automatically makes you feel good. So next time you're feeling low, you're feeling down, you're feeling self-conscious, go for a walk. Do some type of physical activity. Whether it's taking the stairs instead of the elevator, or if it's doing push-ups or sit-ups in your room. Just try it. Try it and see how your mood changes. All right, your mental health. Much like your body requires a balanced diet and exercise, your mental health also needs attention. Maintaining your mental health involves practicing self-care, using coping strategies, and knowing when to seek professional help. So, triggers. Who all has triggers? Everybody hand, if you go. We all have triggers. We all have triggers. One of your triggers can be someone stepping on your shoes, someone talking about your family. A trigger is anything that can bring back mental health issues. Triggers can be activities, from people, places, things. Once you know your triggers, they can be avoided or managed. You know, a trigger can be a perfume or cologne. How many of you guys ever had that friend that had that terrible cologne? Every time you smell it, you bring back a bad memory. You know, it can be a song. A song can be a trigger. I used to have my uncles who used to sit around and cook out, and they'll hear some certain songs. And, yeah, I gotta go get me something to drink. Now I just wonder, like, why do you have to go do that? Because it's a trigger. It takes them back to a place, you know. And so, warning signs. Your warning signs are symptoms such as thoughts, feelings, behaviors that indicate your mental health might be at risk. So you have those warning signs. You know when you're about to get angry. Some of you nose start sweating. Some of you start getting hot. You know, what's your warning signs? These are things that you need to identify before you go into the real world. Because while you're in school, yeah, you can get a write-up. You can get a suspension. But once you step out those doors, they're going to put them cuffs on you. And they're not going to show you as much love as your administrators and your teachers and your parents. So identify what your warning signs are when you know that you're about to do something you're probably not supposed to. All right, now we're going to talk about preventing and dealing with these problems. Self-care. Now, all of you have something that you do for self-care. So, y'all want to talk to me, because I'm not going to talk about that. So what's some of your self-care things?
Sleeping.
Sleeping, shopping, what else? Reading, hair and nails, pooping, playing ball. Okay. So, no, have self-care. Because at the end of the week, one of my self-cares, I like to go eat seafood. I like to go eat fried catfish on Saturday, Friday night. Catfish and orange drink. That's something that I did growing up with my family. I'm from South Mississippi, so that settles me down after a long week. And trust me, I have some long weeks. Hearing problems. Let me ask you, just keep it down on the speaker, baby. I'm gonna say something that's gonna be important to you. But I have to have it, or I can't function. And I'm very routine oriented. I like to be, when my routine is broken, I'm just all thrown up. And so, as you mature, you're gonna see that, okay, mom and daddy do things a certain way because of this. They don't just do it, that's what they have to do to function. That's what they have to do to function. I like to get my gas on the weekends, on Sunday evening. So when Sunday evening rolls around, I can just relax and get ready for Monday. Because doing therapy, I hear problems all day long. And it's no problem, God equipped me for it. But these are some of the things that I have to do to maintain. So know what your self-care is. And coping strategies are skills that help you manage problems and symptoms when they arise. Examples include relaxation, some of you guys said that, sleeping, communication, and anger management. Okay? All right, social support. Look around at these ladies. That's your social support. Whether you know it, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. That's your social support. And some of you, if you have friends in here, that's your social support. Emotional support are the ones that help manage emotions such as stress, anger, or depression. This support might include listening to your problems and showing empathy. Most of the time, that's going to be your friends. Your friends are going to fall into that category. Tangible support. Let's see if we can guess which one this is. They help with practical problems such as financial assistance, providing a ride to school, providing a ride to practice. Who do you usually get that from? Parents. That's right. All right, informational support, providing information that helps you solve a problem or overcome a challenge. This might include advice or information about helpful resources. Now, who does that come from? Can y'all point out who that is? That's these ladies behind you. They're providing this program to give you information support. They may not necessarily be able to fix your problem, but they know how to direct you to who can fix your problem. They have the resources to direct you. Social support is the help of providing by others, such as family, friends, groups, and communities. All right, emotional regulation skills. Y'all, I can't tell you how important this is. Because all it takes is for one person to trigger you and you spaz out and do something that's gonna cost you your life. It's gonna cost you, you're gonna have to learn how to regulate yourself. I used to coach baseball, and I had this one player, he was really good, but he had a temper problem. And I told him, I said, hey, the people that we're going to play, we're playing on their field with their umpires. They provided all of this, because we had a much smaller program. I said, you're not gonna get every call. I said, everything is not gonna go your way. I said, so keep your cool, because he actually was a good player. We needed him. So he get up the bat, the guy throws a pitch, obviously it's a ball. My guy didn't swing. Guess what the umpire called it? Strike. He looked. And so I'm over there clapping over like, please, keep you cool, it's gonna happen. And so that went on, and he ended up striking out when he actually should have been walked. And he lost his cool. He hit the bat on the ground, threw his helmet, and I yanked him right then and there. Because I just coached you up and told you this is what you're gonna have to deal with. Y'all, a lot of times when you go through life, you may be in the right, but you still gonna be wrong. And I hate to tell you that, but it's gonna happen. In life, we go through roadblocks. How many of you guys ever been through a roadblock before? You can go one of two ways, right? Also, pull you up, say license and registration, you read that, and you give it to him. And he said, you know what, have a nice day, sir. He asks you for license and registration, you don't have nothing to show him, what is he gonna say? Let me get you pulled to the side, right? You know what I mean? You're gonna have a long night. But anytime you're faced with obstacles, if you have your paperwork, if you have your stuff together, if you know how to regulate your emotions, you're gonna be able to go on with your night. But if you crash out every time, they're gonna hinder you. They're gonna you pull over to the side. That's gonna be life. And a lot of you don't have the privileges that some may have. So you're gonna have to be that much more better. You're gonna have to work that much harder. When you experience an emotion, a behavior usually comes with it. If you're angry, you might want to fight or argue. If you're sad, you might want to withdraw from your friends. Your body causes you to react to these emotions in a specific way. So when that typically happens, you can change the trajectory of that. So when you're sad and don't want to be around anyone, that's the very time that you need to be social. That's the very time that you need to go and be around somebody that's positive. Because I'm gonna tell you something, we all have one enemy, and he doesn't have a body. And so he uses bodies. Okay? We all have the same adversary. He comes to kill, steal, and destroy. But the only thing is, he don't have a body. He's just a spirit. He's just a soul. So he have to use people. So we battle not with flesh and blood. So the people that you're into it with, you're not actually into it with them, per se. You're into it with their spirit. And so when you get alone and you sit in your room and you down, guess what? He likes that. He finna have his way with you now. He finna plant all kind of seeds and negative talk onto you. That's when you need to go around somebody. That's when you need to go and be around somebody positive. We're gonna talk about that in a minute also. So remember that. And one of the most important things is remembering who you are and whose you are. Know that each one of you have a gift. Each one of you were blessed with a gift. And you're on the journey to identifying what that gift is. Each one of you are good at something. I don't mean to get churchy, but each one of you have a ministry. And so my ministry is mental health. The preacher's ministry may be preaching. But each one of you has something that you're supposed to give to others. And so when the opportunity arises, when you plant seeds in people, make sure you plant a positive seed. Be mindful of what you say to that person, because it follows them. It follows them for life. And that means you have an opportunity to either impact their life in a positive way or a negative way. How many of you had a teacher or an administrator or a coach or a friend do something to you so bad and it hurts you, and you still remember it. You still don't like that person to this day. Probably swing on that person if you see him. Okay? You see how that impacted your life? But how many of you have that person or that teacher or whoever that was always good to you, always encouraged you, always motivated you? You always just felt good around her. You gravitated around her for some reason. Anybody? We all had one person like that, whether it was an auntie, a teacher, or whoever, cafeteria lady, gave you an extra biscuit or whatever. You know, you always have that person, that positive person that impacts your life. You be that person in someone else's life. Your words are seeds. When you plant those seeds, make sure they're positive, because they're going to grow in that person. You know, we tell our teachers, speak life into children. Because you may be the only encounter that they have. You may be the first encounter they have of the day. So try to speak life into them. Be a blessing to them. All right? Your body and your mind are closely linked, and the health of one directly affects the other. Managing emotions can be difficult. That's why I like to use the acronym PLEASE. Please treat physical illness. Eat healthy. I'm going to tell you, what you eat and what you take in affects your body. I'm allergic to pork, unfortunately, so I can't eat pork. When I do, I break out in hives and all this. Be mindful of what you take in. And that goes to watching TV. That goes to the friends you're around. So what you intake, it affects your body. I'll use a comparison. I train horses. If I feed one horse the high protein feed, the good stuff, and I feed another horse just the cheap feed and the bad hay that's not fertilized, which one y'all think gonna be the best? The one that don't feed the best stuff, correct? All right, your body is the same way. If you're taking in more negative stuff than you are positive, what you think you're gonna produce? Negativity. If you're listening to drill music, you're gonna wanna go shoot up some stuff. It's programming you. You laughing, but it's serious, you know. That's why when some of those people that we have that say, oh, when I hear this song, I want to go party, I want to go do this, I want to go, it's programming you. So be mindful of what you intake. Be mindful of what you take. Guard your ears. How many of you guys ever been in a room and somebody you knew walked in that was always negative? Your spirit, you just got aggravated all of a sudden. That's happened to me before in meetings. Someone who they just want to talk about the problem. I'm solution focused. All right, we got the problem. How we gonna fix it? But they want to talk about the problem all the time and the bad stuff. My spirit don't sit well with this people. Be mindful who you hang around. So going back to your acronym, please. So when you're feeling down and you're going through something, think of this. Treat physical illness. If you know you're going through something, talk to someone. Eat healthy. Avoid mood-altering drugs. Get you some good sleep and exercise. All right, your environment. Change your environment and watch how you grow. Sometimes that means getting away from some of the friends that you hang out with. How many of you guys ever heard of shark in the fish tank? You put a shark in a little fish tank, it probably won't grow no more than 8 inches. But you put it in the ocean, it can grow 8 feet. The shark will never outgrow its environment. So be mindful of who you're around. They're not promoting you to be better, they're stunning your growth. Sometimes you may have to move away from your hometown. Sometimes you may have to change your friends. You know, depending on your circle, that's what you're into. Think about it. If you hang out with nothing but basketball players, eventually you're gonna start liking basketball. You know, if you hang out, if you have friends that love to do hair, or that's into makeup or whatever, those are the things that you eventually gonna get into. Your circle, it dictates you, in a sense. If my friends are thinking about purchasing property, and that's all I'm hearing them talk about, then guess what? I'm start looking into property. Not because I'm following them, it's just you being conditioned. So, think about your circle. Take inventory of the people that you're around. Are they pushing you towards your goals? Are they pushing you to be great? Your environment influences your mood. We talked about that earlier. When people come around that you don't necessarily set horses with, it alters you. They impact your behavior and your motivation to act. They facilitate and discourage interactions. And they create or reduce stress. I got some friends, when they come around, it's always something negative. Versus I have some that always speak life into me, speak positivity. They always talking about achieving things. Your environment matters. And spirituality. Spiritual wellness means having personal values and beliefs and acting compassionately in accordance with those values. Now, I'm not trying to push religion or anything on anybody, but everybody needs something that they can believe in. And I have mine. These are some of my favorite verses. Proverbs 12 and 25. Anxiety weighs down the heart, but a kind word cheers you up. 1 Peter 5 and 7. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Philippians 4 and 16. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your request to God. Like that's when I can't figure it out, and a lot of times I probably should go there first. But when I have a situation, I can get everything I need to do about it, and I can't fix it. That's where I go to get my answers. And in the profession that I am, I gotta have some type of spirituality. I lose my mind. And so when I'm gonna tell you, and I'm not trying to tell you what to choose, but find you something that you believe in. Because when you believe in something, you have certain values that dictate your goals. That tells how you want to act. Do you think LeBron James sit up and drink all night and eat pizza and donuts? No. The night before a game, he's stretching, he's hydrating, he's putting on ice and hot, whatever he has to do. Because when you have certain goals, they dictate your actions. They dictate your actions. And when you have a goal, and when you're achieving that goal, you have a different confidence about yourself. You feel good when you're achieving something. If you want to feel, if you're depressed and you want to feel good, set a goal and achieve it. And watch how good you feel. Watch how good you feel. Because it's something about achieving something. It gives you self-confidence. If you were about to go off to college in the next 2 days, you think you go ride with your friends that's finna go break into this store? No. And the reason why? Your values. I can't do that. I can't go hang out with them because I know what they're doing. I'm on a different path. And right now you're in that stage, like I said earlier, of being dependent and going into becoming independent. One of the most important things you can do right now that'll help you lay down is identify who you are. Get to know you. Because if you don't, the world will tell you who you are. And you'll never be able to satisfy the world. You just go whichever way the wind goes. Find you some morals and some beliefs and stand on them. Stand on them. And it's okay to stand alone. It's okay to be different. Everyone has a desire to be admired by others. Everyone does. But what's going to make you stand out if you're being like the world? Be yourself. You were made in his image. You have special gifts and talents that only you have, and no one can take that from you. But if you're trying to act like someone else, we'll never see that gift. We'll never see that gift. So, find you some values and stick with that. And stand on that. And be confident in who you are. Don't be swayed by the world. Because the world, it changes. Everything changes. Fashion. I bet if you go look at your mama and daddy's closet, maybe in the back, it's something that they got from back in the day that's in style right now. And you can't keep up with the trends. You'll never be able to keep up with the trends. So be you and be confident in who you are. It'll save you from a whole lot of stuff. It'll save you from little boys telling you to do stuff that you know isn't right. It'll save you from little girls telling you to do stuff that you know isn't right. Stick to your guns. That's what makes you an individual. That's what makes you stand out. When you can be you. They know not to come to me with certain stuff. They know he ain't going to this. And we not even bring that up. And I asked, why y'all didn't invite me? We knew you wouldn't come. I said, well, shoot, still invited me. You know? But we knew you wouldn't come. We knew that ain't even your type of singing. And I used to feel some type of way about it, but I like that now. I said, okay, so they know who to play with, who not to play with. They know what I'm going for and what I'm not going for. That's what makes you unique. That's what makes you stand out. You were created to stand out. So don't try to be you. Be you. If it's something that you don't do, stand on that. And if your friends don't accept that, they're not your friends. They're not your friends. I've never been bothered by peer pressure. I'm light-skinned with frogs. I ain't never fit in. I used to have to fight on school bus every day. And eventually I started owning it. Yeah, I am unique. And now you have to wear that with pride. If it's something about you that's different, you got a birthmark or a scar, own that. Because that means that God took the time to give you this. And you're special because of it. And people used to say stuff to me all the time. Oh, you got all them spots on it. I said, well, God took his time to put these spots on it, but he just threw y'all together to put you down. But be confident in who you are. If you don't take nothing else that I say today, learn to love you. Learn to love your style, because it's yours. It's yours. And don't let the world dictate it and tell you how you should feel about yourself. I'll tell you what you should look like. And if you learn to love yourself, you're gonna have wealth. You're gonna have health and wellness. What makes people sick, what causes anxiety, when people are running around trying to figure out who they are and how to please others. That's what causes anxiety. Wanting to be liked by people. I love y'all, no harm. I don't care if y'all like me or not. I like me. And there's no disrespect. But that, and it took me a while to learn that. Because I used to think, oh, you gotta have the best this, the best that. Why? I'm trying to please people that don't even care about me. If you learn this at a very young age of who you are, and what it is that you're doing, and what your goals are gonna be. Because your goals give you a roadmap to life. They tell you what to do and what not to do. And set them for yourself. The short-term goals, long-term goals. And your short-term goals help you get to your long-term goals. So be comfortable with who you are. I see so many people, and it's sad. It's really sad. So many, even adults, they don't know who they are, and they're trying to figure out what to do with themselves. And they're trying to please other people, but they're hurting themselves, and they have anxiety. And I hope y'all don't get mad, but I'm just gonna say it. Anxiety is a result of not trusting God. And a lot of people in my profession don't like when I say this. But think about it. If I trust him for everything, what I got to worry about? They say, oh, that's not fair for you to say that. Well, it applies to me. If I trust him, if I actually trust him, what do I have to worry about? Nothing. Nothing. Unless I'm looking at it through my worldly eyes. And I'm trying to figure it out through that way. And sometimes you have to put on your spiritual lenses. You know? So if you don't take nothing I say today, love yourself. Become comfortable with yourself. set you some goals and achieve those goals. If you ever have a mental health emergency, or you know anyone that needs any mental help, this is my information right here. And I want to thank y'all for allowing me to speak. But before I finish, I have one more request. I need everybody to stand up, please. Thank you, Jerry. I need everybody to stand up. If you will, very simple, okay? I want you to take one step to the left, one step to the right. All right, now y'all can go say that, you know, that man really, his speech really moved me. Thank y'all for that.